Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Helping Hand. I'm Ruby, intuitive empath, tarot card reader, and overall light worker. I'm so happy you've joined me here today because I have some exciting stuff to share. Today, this video is about signs that you are an old soul. So, what are some signs that you're an old soul? So today I have compiled 10 signs based on my experience, based on what I've felt over the course of my life that I would like to share today. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 signs that you are an old soul. So number 1 sign is that you love being around children or folks that are much older than you. Sometimes you might feel like, the peers that around your age, you might not fully resonate, kind of with the trends that are going on with your peer group around your age. You might feel very much more connected with children or older folks, and your conversations might seem very seamless with them. It's a sort of visceral feeling that you get when you're around children. You just feel more rejuvenated. I feel like your soul recognizes the pure innocence of children. So your soul is gravitating towards that because as an old soul, you've lived so many lifetimes that you've also gained this inner wisdom and knowledge and peace. So you're more grounded. So whenever you're interacting with children, you feel that sense of joy and you can intuitively sense their innocence. Now, when interacting with folks that are much older than yourself, right, they have lived much longer than you. They have experienced many more things, probably different things too. So you naturally, as an old soul, gravitate to folks that are much older than you, and it feels very calm, very easy, and you very much enjoy the conversation and the knowledge that they have to pass down. It as an old soul, it's not a chore for you. It's not like that. It's like, yes, tell me more, and you really like to absorb that knowledge. So you connect very well with younger children and much older folks than yourself as an old soul. So you're very versatile in that. Sign number 2, I like this one. So a particular genre or music, style of clothing or cuisine, or maybe it's a hobby that you're very, very, very invested in and interested in, or even a certain time period that is very, very interesting to you. That is another sign that you are an old soul. So sometimes, I can give you an example actually. For example, I am for some reason, very connected and interested in medieval type of music, the tune of the music. For some reason, I just really love that, even though that's definitely not the music of today, right? But it's something that I'm very interested in and very, very curious about. So if you have a certain kind of fascination with a particular style or genre or anything of that sort, that is another sign that you are an old soul. Possibly you may have lived in, a certain time period that you're very, very much interested in a past life. So I would, maybe research more on that, of why you're interested in that particular time period or style of clothing or what have you. Number 3, this one is an interesting one. I often think about it a lot. You can't quite put your finger on it, but you just know certain things. And I'm going to give you an example. So, for example, you're sitting in class or you're with a friend, you're having a conversation with a friend, and you're starting to talk about a topic. And as soon as you start to talk about the topic, you think, hey, I know this. And this is stuff that I usually think about, this is stuff that I kind of daydream about. This topic, I understand this topic really well. And it's just that kind of inner feeling like, hey, this is stuff like, that interests me, stuff I, think about, from time to time, and now we're learning about it, or now I'm talking about it with a friend or somebody. So it's those moments where it's like, yeah, like you knew this, because as an old soul, you from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, you accumulate different knowledges, different, you learn different things, many different things. So that could very well happen. You also might hear from people, wait, how did you know that? You might hear that a lot from people if you say something or you're doing something without prior, prior knowledge, without learning it before in this lifetime. Or you might question yourself like, oh, I just did this, or I just said this, or knew this, but how did I know this? I never really studied this before, but you just know it. So that is another sign that you are an old soul. Number 4, you are intuitive, you are sensitive, and because of that, people may ask you for advice, or they tell you about the challenges that they're going through in life. So it's very common if, people walk up to you, they ask you for advice, and it doesn't have to be, anything, major. It could be asking the directions for somewhere. They look at you and they just go to you and ask, or they might just strike up a conversation and ask your opinion about it. So what do you think about this? Should I do this or should I do that? Even if, they might even not know you that well. So people can sense that aura around you and sense that kind of non-judgmental nature. In a sense that you are there to understand. They feel that they can tell you what's going on. So you probably notice that is another sign that you're an old soul. Sign number 5, excessive partying or hearing about the latest gossip. It doesn't really interest you. You rather feel you'd rather seek the deeper meaning of life. You're not somebody who really likes small talk. You want to talk about intricate kind of topics or discussions. You're very much deep into thought. You like deeper conversations. So that kind of area, the excessive partying, excessive everything, isn't really your forte. Number 6, you might feel, or you're often told, that you are a great listener. And by that I mean when somebody is telling you something or wants to have a conversation with you, you are very much in tune to what they're saying. So you're not just hearing what you're saying, but you're listening to what they're saying. So as an old soul, you've accumulated and enhanced the skill over lifetimes. So you really take in what the other person is saying, and you might find that you remember their conversations, what they've said, after a while. Number 7, I'm going to do my best to try to explain this, but sometimes you may have felt, whether it's in school, social settings, you may have felt or feel like the odd one out. What I mean by that, you might have felt like you didn't really connect well with, the others, let's say in your class, in your school, whatever. They might be talking about certain things, certain trends that are popular at the moment, and you aren't really well versed in it. And you might feel like kind of you're just kind of like an observer of everything, instead of actually, knowing what everybody else is talking about. You're like, okay, yeah, because a lot of the sort of newer kind of trends or topics kind of don't resonate with you that well. So you might kind of feel like you might have felt left out. You might have felt kind of just not really sure. Maybe you feel a little bit unbalanced, a little skittish of kind of what's going on around you. And a lot of those energies are very intense for you. So you kind of just, it's kind of like a feeling of like, I don't really know what's happening here. I don't really get it, but I'm here. So that kind of feeling you might have felt. Number 8, take a look at your thumbs. If your thumbs are very low set, meaning that they're much lower to the base, closer to the base of your palm, all right, that is a very good indicator that you are an old soul. That is a little something that I learned from palmistry. I don't know too much in depth of it, but I do know that if you do have thumbs that are quite lower set, very good indicator that you are an old soul. If any of you are palm readers or know more about palms, if you want to leave in the comments of why that is the case. This is just something that I've learned. However, I don't know exactly why. So if anyone wants to share in the comments, that would be really cool. 9 is that you have a lot of interests, you have a lot of talents, and you have a lot of creative urges. So you want to share, you want to create, you have a lot of things to share, and you might often feel like, I have a lot of these interests and things I want to share, things I want to do, and but you might feel a little bit overwhelmed because there's so many things that you like. So you have to kind of find a balance in, all of the things that you like, or maybe incorporate the things that you like the most into kind of maybe one. So that way you're able to share that. But you have a lot of interests and talents, and you really feel like you want to share that and explore more of that. It's a very good indicator that you're an old soul because you have accumulated that knowledge and did those things before in previous lifetimes. So very interesting thing to further explore. All right, number 10, you have a fascination with nature, the spiritual realm. Maybe you're interested in astrology, psychics. Maybe you really like watching shows that talk about spirits. You really like mystical things, mystical topics. So that is something that might really interest you. So very, on general note, you're very interested in kind of spiritual topics and aspects. That stuff really interests you, and you might, be finding yourself reading books about it, researching about it. So that's another sign that you are an old soul, because your soul has lived through so many different lifetimes, maybe a lot of the times on Earth, but possibly also a lot of the times on different planets, and you have met and interacted with many different other beings, people, and you have come to the point where you're not very interested in superficial things. You're not very interested in very material things. You're not very materialistic. You're not really interested in that. You are more, again, this kind of alludes to some of the other signs that we've talked about before, but you're very interested in the deeper meaning of life, meaning of our soul journey. So those kind of aspects might interest you, and I encourage you to further explore them. Again, thank you so much for watching my video, subscribing to my channel. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Thank you so much, and I hope this video has helped you, and hope that you can further explore some more signs. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time.